If you ever feel like you're on the Price is Right when pricing your web design proposals, just trying to guess the highest number that they'll say yes to without going over, I've got just the thing for you. Go to webdesigneracademy.com/proposal to get a free training where I break down the 5 subtle proposal mistakes even experienced web designers make that have them leaving literally thousands of dollars on the table, and find out what to do differently so that you can charge 2 to 3 times more for work you're already doing. To get your hands on that free training, just go to webdesigneracademy.com/proposal, enter your name and email address, and I'll send you all the details. That's webdesigneracademy.com/proposal. Welcome to the Profitable Web Designer Podcast, the place where women web designers come to raise their prices, book higher paying projects, and run their web design businesses without overwhelm and burnout. I'm your host, Shannon Mattern, pricing strategist and founder of the Web Designer Academy, where you're just one proposal away from the money you truly deserve to be making. And I'm here to help you build a web design business that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. So let's go ahead and dive into this week's episode. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Profitable Web Designer Podcast. And today I am bringing you our monthly income report episode for June 2026, and Erica Nash is back.
I'm back.
So excited to have you back as my co-host for this episode. I was flying solo for April and May, and so you're back to ask me all of the questions for this income report. So tell everybody where you've been.
Oh my gosh. Well, just a lot of wonderful personal things happened, really. We bought a house, we moved, and our only daughter graduated high school. So we did that and took a trip, and it was just the best. So I feel like I've been here, there, and everywhere, but I'm back.
Yeah. And for me, I was here, there, and everywhere also in those 2 months. In May, I went to Barcelona. In June, I had, we're recording this in July. So I would say in April, Eric and I went on a retreat together.
Mm-hmm.
June, I went to Spain. Or May, I went to Spain. June, we will talk more about all the things that happened in June. So our schedules just didn't line up. And now they do again. So I'm so excited to have you back on the show.
Things are all right with the world again.
So if you are just joining us for the first time, every single month I record a income report episode where I break down how much the business made, how much we spent, and all of the lessons learned along the way, because how we think about money affects a lot of the choices we make in our business. Things we do or not do can create wanted or unwanted results. And the feedback I consistently get from podcast listeners and email list subscribers and everyone in my community is that this is their favorite episode ever, where I show not just the income side, but also the inflow side, but also the outflow side, and share what it really looks like to run a profitable, sustainable business. Sometimes it feels more profitable and sustainable than other times. But where we last left off in May, I had told you guys that the inflow in May was $11,489. The outflow was $17,096. And that resulted in me pulling $6,000 from the reserves to fund the operations of the business. And I had also said, but I'll tell you what happened in June and why. I guess I would say the start and end days of a month are so completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
And I can fill you in on what happened in June. So Erica is our client success coordinator over at the Web Designer Academy. And she is my right-hand woman. She helps make sure that all of our students get what they need. And she's going to run me through all of the questions and basically interview me about what happened in June. So I'll hand it over to you, Erica, to kick us off.
Yeah, let's do it. So, to start, what was the total inflow for June of 2026?
Yeah, so it was $50,262 was the inflow for June.
Which is incredible. Like compared to May, when it was like you had mentioned, like I think the words that you had said was the lowest revenue month. I can't remember in how long.
The lowest revenue month since, I don't know, 2024, 2022. It's been a while. I haven't had a revenue month that low in a long time.
And so amazing. Tell us where it came from.
Yeah. So I should have been more prepared to have this pulled up before that. But most of it came from private coaching, the 90-day shift. So about this time last year, I opened up spots to coach with me one-on-one in a program that I call the 90-day shift. And it is a 12-week container with me where we meet every week, just me and you, one-on-one. We set a few goals for you and your business, and then I lead you through a process to help you reach that goal. And so I've run 2 rounds of this with 2 different groups of people. And in June was when I was like opening up my next round of spots. So I sent out an email to my list and I was like, hey, I've got 5 spots open. I'm taking discovery calls this week only for these 5 spots. And after these 5 spots sell, the price for this coaching program is going up. Because what I realized after running it for 2 rounds is that I really like doing it. And also, it needed to be priced higher for it to be sustainable for me to spend that much time one-on-one supporting students. Because it's not just we do value-based pricing around here, right? It's not just the value of my time, but the value of my time, to me, is significant. It's the value of the outcomes and results you can get as a result of working with me. But also, it's not just a weekly call. It's support. It's access to me. It's like all these other things. And I'm like, if I am going to allocate my time here in this private capacity versus allocate my time in these other ways, it's got to be worthwhile for me to do it, which is what we teach our students. So I was like, this will be the last round at this price. I've got 3 rounds of this and I've sold it out every time. So 3 rounds of data saying it's time to go ahead and move that price up. And those spots sold out within the week. It was awesome. And it was so fun. And so I'm in the middle of coaching those 5 women, and then a 6th came on that I made some space for. So I'm in the middle of coaching them. And so that was a significant part of that $50,000 was selling those private coaching packages.
It makes me think of like thinking about the pricing and your time and like all of those things and sort of like how you made it more sustainable. It makes me think about, we don't teach hourly pricing, but if somebody was to charge hourly, it's never all of the time that they spend on a project. I don't think anybody ever charges the actual amount. And I wonder what it would look like if people were like, I am going to charge hourly. I wonder what it would look like if they also charged hourly for even the time that they spent just thinking about the project and the capacity that they're actually using whenever they are in that kind of agreement with someone. It would probably be a lot closer to value-based pricing than what they would feel like, quote unquote, feel okay charging on their invoice.
Yeah. And I see this often where people don't really want to look at how much time they are actually spending on a client project end to end, because they know if they see how many hours, and everybody probably has an hourly rate in the back of their mind, whether they bill hourly or not. Like most web designers I talk to have this number that is their back pocket hourly rate that they calculate on. If you don't have one, that's totally fine. But a lot of people I talk to do. And if they actually did the math and they actually charged for every single thing that is part of that project, and they weren't actually selling just the deliverable and like all of that stuff, they give themselves sticker shock. And they're like, well, I couldn't possibly charge that much, even though in reality, that's how much time it's taking you. And so that's why one of our big things at the Web Designer Academy is we have got to untie your price from your time and make it so that the real amount of time you're spending at whatever hourly rate you've decided on is the floor, is the lowest amount you will ever charge, and help you change how you think about the value of what you do, how you talk about what the value of what you do, and change the entire conversation you're having with your clients so that you can sell projects at higher prices. Because you can just keep ignoring the fact that it's unsustainable for you. If you want to do that, you can just keep being like, oh, I'm actually not making enough money. I'm spending more time than I'm getting paid for, but I just need more clients to fix that problem. Like, that's not going to fix the problem because you don't have time to serve as many clients as you think that you need to. Like, you're not charging for all of your time. How is it ever going to work? You have got to charge more to align with what you're actually putting into it. And that's a skill you can learn. So that's what I recognized after 2 rounds. It's like, no, it's not just 12 1-hour calls with me on my side. Like, there's the cost. There's so many variables to that. There's the WhatsApp support in between those calls. There's me thinking about how I'm going to support you and strategizing when I'm not on those calls, me carving out that time and dedicating it to you. And that's time I'm not spending on other things in the business. There's an opportunity cost to that time. Like, every choice you make has a cost. And so, yeah, I want you all to think about it that way too. And so it wasn't a thought where I'm like, oh my gosh, this isn't worth it. It's so rewarding. I love doing it. And I was like, I can see the ceiling that I'm going to hit with this price point and how I need to create some more capacity for myself if I'm going to keep doing private coaching.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen your private coaching students get incredible results. And so for anybody who's wondering about private coaching, when does your next 90 days shift begin?
I think it will be sometime in October that spots will open up. And I always let current clients decide if they're going to renew and continue on. And then we'll have open spots for that. So yeah, they can go to webdesigneracademy.com/shift. I think, pretty sure. Loading. Yep. Shift. And if you're interested in private coaching, you can book a discovery call. Whenever you're listening to this, I'll let you know when my next open spots are and you can get all of the current information on that. So yeah, that was a pretty big chunk. That was a $22,500 chunk of June's revenue was private coaching.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Where else? Where did the other come from?
The Next Level Mastermind. The Next Level Mastermind is the next most significant chunk of revenue. People don't leave that program.
Nope.
It's so fast. It's like, it's renewals. Next Level Mastermind renewals. People are renewing for their 5th year in that program. And it is so awesome. It is so incredible. And I just think about, there was a few years ago, I'm laughing because we joke about it being a cult. Because a couple of years ago, we had a photographer come in and do photos during the retreat. And we also happened to be doing a hypnosis session. And so we all look like we're in a cult. But the joke is that people were saying yesterday on our Next Level Mastermind call, they're like, yep, I'm in the cult forever. Like, when are you going to recruit more cult members? But it's so incredible that people feel so supported and just like they found their home that they want to stay. And it's one of those things that it happens with it feels like no effort at all. It's one of those things that it's like, it feels so effortless that I almost discount it working. And I remember way back in the day when I was teaching DIY web design, and I was like hustling so hard to grow the DIY web design side of the business. Meanwhile, the Web Designer Academy, I would just sell it out every time with zero effort. But I didn't think of the Web Designer Academy as the main thing. I thought of the Web Designer Academy as the little side gig that just always worked. But I was constantly trying to fix and grow and whatever the free 5-day website challenge side of the business. It's super interesting when I'm like looking at my numbers in this way, where I'm just like, oh, Next Level is now the thing that just happens without hustle and pushing and whatever. So it's interesting. I get to notice that and maybe start, instead of continuing to swim upstream so hard, lean into that and flow downstream a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
the Next Level room it's so fun. And I mean, obviously we're joking about it being a cult, and it is fully a joke.
it is not a cult.
It is not actually. But there is just something really special about the level of vulnerability and like camaraderie in that room. I can truly say, like, the people in that room, they are my people. They are my friends. They are really, really special and dear. Not saying that people in the WDA room aren't or anything like that, but there is just something. And I think part of it is that vulnerability. Like, when there is a willingness for people to get vulnerable like that, there is just a connection that happens.
Yeah.
And we have seen people get really vulnerable. Like, we talk about a lot of, like, people are comfortable enough to bring all of their stuff there. And so I think that, and I mean, we've seen this, right? Like, I can think of one person in particular who left and then came back and was like, there's just nowhere else like this. And so I think that's part of the desire for people to continue renewing and staying in that room, just like really knowing how challenging it might be to find a similar space where they feel safe enough to bring all of the heavy things and get really great support for like walking through and like of overcoming those things.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that. And you mentioned the person that left and came back. I got to have a conversation with her recently about that. And she was like, listen, she's like, I joined Next Level. I loved it. And then I left for a big name, like household name mastermind program, because I thought like, oh, well, if Next Level was good, that's got to be even better. That's going to help me explode. She's like, I got in the room. She was like, they didn't know anything about me. I got a different coach coaching me every single week, who had to re-get to know me every single week and gave me what felt like generic advice because they didn't know where I had been or where I was going or whatever. And she was just like, it was just not anything like my experience in Next Level, where not only do you as the coach know me and my goals and my challenges and what I've tried and what I haven't tried and where I've been and what my patterns are and how I get in my own way. And she's like, you know all of that about me, but there are 20 other women in that room that know that about me and can give me really targeted personal feedback that I wasn't getting in that other room. And she's like, and that's why I came back. And I was like, thank you so much for like sharing that with me, because there's like some myths I feel like about the Next Level Mastermind that people believe that I would love to just debunk right now. If you've ever like considered, if you're in the Web Designer Academy and you're listening to this and you've ever thought like, I'm not ready for, I couldn't possibly join Next Level, or you're listening to this and you're just like, oh no, like that's not for me. It very well could be for you. And so one of the things people always think is that like, I have to already be at 6 figures to join Next Level. That is not true. Not everybody wants or needs to be at 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has so many different goals, different lifestyles, costs of living, business models, like all of that. And there's a lot to learn from everybody's experience. You do have to be past the challenge of like getting clients. Not that you never experience challenges getting clients, but those beginner stages of like, how do I get clients? You're past that. You're more experienced, but you don't have to be making 6 figures. And then another myth is that like everybody's super intense. Like that we're just like these intense, ambitious, like I don't know, it makes me think of that movie, The Devil Wears Prada. Like we're all like just like that kind of intense corporate businesswomen. And like it is not like that at all. I've been in masterminds. I would say I've been in 2 of them where like you're expected to like, I was expected to like show up on camera like dressed in a certain way. And I was like, what do you mean? Like hair done, makeup on, like looking like dressed for business or something. And I was just like, what? Why? Like that's not how I want to run my business. And I don't value that stuff. Yes, I like to put makeup on and do my hair, but if I don't, that's okay. And like, I don't know. So that was one of the things where I'm just like, this is not that kind of a mastermind where we're like, hey, bring your best designer goods and show up looking a certain way. Like you can come as you are in all of our rooms. And then another thing, and you can tell me, Erica, what you think some of the misconceptions are, things you've heard from people too. I have to feel like my business is already quote unquote successful. I don't feel like I'm successful enough to join. And that's kind of probably why you even need to be in the room in the first place.
Sure. For sure. Because we'll pick that apart piece by piece.
Yeah. So what do you think are some of the other things people tell you? Like when you're talking, you talk to our Web Designer Academy students, like when their time in like their 1 year in the program is coming up and you say, hey, here are your options. You can stay in the WDA for another year, or you can join us in the Next Level room. What are some of the things that they say that you're like, that's why you need to be in the Next Level room?
Right. I mean, the thing that I hear most often, it's not usually qualified, but the thing that I hear most often is, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
And it does come with this like air of like, there has to be this qualifier that makes it's almost, this is what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when, and like as business owners, we do this all the time. We feel like we will arrive somewhere.
Yep.
And it feels like people think they need to arrive to a specific place in order to like gain their entry into the Next Level Mastermind room. And I mean, that's just not the case, right? Like, I mean, aside from beyond the beginning stages of business, the other thing that I have seen a couple of times is feeling like they need to have gone through all of the curriculum that we have available. And that is also not necessarily true. I mean, like, obviously that curriculum is there for them to go through as they need to. We provide like a bit of a roadmap with things that we think that will support their goals and their journey, like as they're with us. But if they are ready to like, I mean, we talk about how it's like your next level mindset, your next level of just like growth. And when I say growth, I'm talking like personal growth. It's like your next level of your own goals and like whatever it is that you want. As far as the intensity thing that you were talking about, I feel like it is the least intense room I have ever been in. It's like the chillest room I have ever been in. Like there's never any mean girl energy or anything like that in there. And the topic of conversation recently has a lot of it has been like, how do we work less? And so I think that, I don't know, it's just really special.
Yeah. And yeah, that whole like, I have to have finished the WDA, like to the Web Designer Academy to join is like, that is a menu. You don't need to eat the whole menu to come into the room. You just need to like have implemented the things on that menu that were there for you. So the other thing is that the Next Level Mastermind is now open to any woman who's a service-based business owner, not just web designers. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And that is for the first time. And the doors have always been open to people who didn't start in the Web Designer Academy. And there's an application so that I can make sure that the room is going to be the right room for you. And I ask you like things about your business, and I ask you like, what are your challenges and what are your goals? And I can tell from what your challenges are and what your goals are, if the mastermind will support you in helping you with your challenges and getting to your goals, or if it's not the right fit for you. And that's really all the application is. If there is something like really specific that you're looking for, that you're experiencing, and your goal is like not something that the mastermind would help with, then your application tells me like, oh, hey, actually, it's not the right fit for you. Not like, oh, you're not good enough to be in this room, or it's not the right fit for you right now. But when you're here, like when you have these things in place, it would be a great fit for you. So yeah. And I think the biggest difference between it in the Web Designer Academy room is like the connection and the community. There's a ton of connection and community in the Web Designer Academy, but it's at its next level in Next Level. So yeah, I just get to talk about Next Level more because it's incredible. And we hosted a mini meetup in June here in Columbus, Ohio, because everybody didn't want to wait a year to see each other in person. And they like asked to meet up halfway through. And I'm like, I'm being asked to like put together a retreat because they want to see each other. How cool is this?
So cool.
It's pretty great. So yeah, that was a big chunk of the $50,000. And then the other exciting chunk of the $50,000 was I launched the Package Matrix Method course. I want to try to get away from that word launch. I opened up the doors to a beta cohort of the Package Matrix Method course. That the Package Matrix is a strategy we teach inside of the Web Designer Academy to help web designers stop undercharging and over-delivering and charge premium prices and basically implement everything that I was talking about at the beginning of this podcast with the private coaching. Like, how do you actually charge for all that you're doing and not have people like have sticker shock and all of that stuff? That's the Package Matrix. And for the past year, I have been teaching that to other service-based business owners outside of web design. And I finally opened up the doors to like, I taught it in a small workshop live back in February. And then I just officially created a program for it and opened up the doors. And I had 10 people join that beta cohort. And they are already like, we're not even 1 month in. And we're getting like, oh, I just sold I sold a package. I sold my mid-level package, which I'm doing less work for more money. And I'm like, that's more than I would have charged before. And I'm just like, that's exactly why it exists. So yeah, that's so cool. We have a mix of service providers in there. We have someone who's an accountant who helps people start accounting businesses. We have a couple web designers who either don't qualify for the Web Designer Academy because they're not women web designers or are wanting to package Matrix like other parts of their business, not the web design part. We've got some marketing people, some communications people, consultants, just like a really diverse group of businesses. And it's been a blast helping them Patrick their offers. So
they're killing it.
They are killing it.
Mm-hmm.
So part of that revenue came in June, part of it came in July, but that was a big chunk of the 50,000 in June. And I was just so happy to see that. I don't know. Like, I was proud of myself for following all the way through with it. And then also not going back to I would have had a tendency, past Shannon would have been like, well, I wanted 25 people, but I only got 10. And I would have like made that a problem and made it mean that like not enough people joined or something. But I'm just like, no, 10 people is proof of concept.
Oh, yeah.
And those 10 people came from things I've been doing outside of the whole Web Designer Academy ecosystem to promote Package Matrix to consultants, fractional execs, all of those things. So I'm like, I have shannonmattern.com built out for Package Matrix. I have the Anchor High podcast. I'm speaking at events over there. All of that's kind of like outside of everything we're doing on the Web Designer Academy side of the business. So I've been doing all of that stuff for the past couple of months. And it's interesting how quick those things are like converting into customers and sales versus the sales cycle on the Web Designer Academy side could be 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, even longer. The sales cycle on the Package Matrix side so far has been shorter. We'll see if that will run it a few more times and gather some data, but I got a good baseline. Like, I could say all day I want 25 people, but I had no data to back that up.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's just pulling a number out of thin air. So I think like the big mindset shift for me was like, I literally have no idea what's going to happen. Now I have a baseline. I know that out of X number of people, this number of people engaged, this number of people enrolled. Let me just repeat that exactly as is, see if the numbers align again and move forward that way versus like, oh, that wasn't good enough. Let me change something to get more, which is what I would have done in the past.
Yeah. Well, huge kudos. I know that is like a big deal to be able to not have that. I don't remember what you called it before, something expectation.
Success expectancy.
Success expectancy. And so I'm curious if you feel like that shift can be contributed to any one thing, if it's a like maybe just a compilation of things that you've been working on, or if there was like something you felt like happened that allowed you to get to that place.
That is such a good question, Erica. I think there's a few answers to that question. Back in April, you and I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and we had a team retreat. Me, you, and Lee Scott of Zane Ting Consulting. We went to the town that Lee lives in. We met for a week, and I've talked about this on the podcast, but Erica hasn't been on the podcast since then to talk about this. But I realized at that retreat that I was unnecessarily carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders and not letting people help me to the point where Erica would offer to help me and I would just like tell her no. And so we were sitting by a waterfall in this beautiful like nature space, and you basically like told me I had no choice but to let you help me with this, with some things. And that was such a gift. And in that moment, even though it wasn't until yesterday that the stars aligned that we were able to start with that, the weight that was lifted off of me, everything felt so less heavy and less urgent. And I didn't even realize that I was like holding that much. And it's not as if you weren't trying to help shoulder the load and asking if you could. And in my self-protective way, it's like, no, I have to hold this.
Yeah.
It's my responsibility to hold it. I have to protect Erica from it for whatever weird reason, from like any stress of it or whatever. And you just forcing me to stop doing that, that was a big deal. And I think that really opened up the capacity for me to even do this and do it in a way that didn't have me putting even more pressure on myself. Because if that hadn't happened, if that moment hadn't happened, it's so interesting. Like the moment happened, I left a changed person, but like the day-to-day didn't change.
Right. It really didn't.
My energy changed, my thoughts changed, all of that changed. And I was able to create the capacity to move forward with making that offer and enrolling people and supporting 10 people in this beta cohort, because I stopped feeling like it was all on me. And in that moment of you saying to me, I would like to take these things off your plate, I could have again said no to you and could have continued to hold everything. And I'm glad that I didn't do that. But I think if I had made a different decision by the waterfall that day, I wouldn't be here. And so I'm just really grateful for you to like not have given up on me.
Oh, never. My gosh. I thank you for sharing that. I didn't realize, I just didn't realize. And I think it is so interesting because, like you said, the day to day didn't really change. And because our schedules have been the way that they have been over the last couple of months, we have kind of been like ships passing in the night. Like when I was here, you were gone. When you were here, I was gone, which is beautiful. Like,
yeah,
what a lovely way to work.
Right?
Exactly. But because of that, we haven't, like you said, the stars just sort of aligned to allow me to kind of actually follow through with like taking some of that off. But I think it's so interesting. And I think it's such beautiful and accurate representation too of like, regardless of what situation you're in, if you are a business owner, you have only so much capacity and you are carrying so much. And I don't think we always fully realize like to what extent that is impacting us and the way that we're thinking about things is impacting us. And I think that is such a great illustration of like exactly how our thoughts are impacting our ability to do all kinds of things because our day to day didn't change. In fact, I think both of us have worked less since then.
Yeah.
And the financial situation just looks very different. So yeah, that moment at the waterfall, I think for all of us was such a gift.
Yeah.
And really, really was life-changing. Like that sounds maybe a little extreme to people who weren't there. But I do think it was a life-changing moment, not just like business changing.
Yeah. And shout out to Lee too, because she also was like, and I'm going to do this for you and you're not going to meddle. And I needed that. Like I needed that because I just needed that. So I think that was one thing. And I couldn't see what I didn't see. The other thing was you guys both helped me get over, like you guys, I have had for a long time this belief that I'm bad at sales. And I've spent a lot of time, effort, energy, and money trying to solve the problem of me being bad at sales. And I think what you and Lee helped me finally realize, and I think a lot of people have been trying to like help me realize this, is like, I'm actually not bad at sales.
Correct.
That is a story that I have that I think like the sky is blue and it is not true. And letting that go really helped me just go through the process of making the offer for the package matrix method beta cohort and be very unattached. Well, be very relaxed and calm in myself and not try to follow someone else's like model.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just because I didn't have to like do so much extra work to try to like follow someone else's thing to be someone I'm not, like it was just easy.
Mm-hmm.
I was me, I was authentic, I was just in my zone. I think that was part of it. So it felt really easy. And then the other part of it, I think, is also like I started this new medication, which for the heart arrhythmia that I talked about in the past couple of income reports, it's a metoprolol, it's a beta blocker. But one of the things that it does is it binds to the adrenaline receptors in your heart. So when your adrenaline spikes, which if you think like, if you have a tendency to like worry, stress, anxiety, that generates adrenaline in your body. And now my adrenaline doesn't really have a job anymore. And it doesn't make me like feel any type of way. And it's really interesting that I just don't feel this like sense of urgency about everything anymore. And that is one of my things is like when I think mind trashy stuff, I go into a fear response. My fear response is fight. Fight is driven by adrenaline. And that adrenaline can't do its job anymore. And so I don't fight so hard. So I'm just more relaxed and things feel easier. And so I think it's like a mix of those things. Like I've got like, it's literally a governor for your heart rate. Like it keeps it from being able to get too high. And I think it's kind of like a governor for the sense of urgency that I feel or how I like can get into those patterns as well. I think it's just interrupting a lot of patterns that I know about myself, but I've never been able to like really feel differently, like physically about, or like never tried to attack it from a physical perspective first.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
I feel like my nervous system is regulated because of this medication. And I've never gone like a nervous system regulation first approach. I've always been like think thoughts first approach.
In the time that I have known you, I don't think that you would have described yourself as like anxious or needing something like that. So I'm so glad that it's helping. Like I hate that you had to be put on it in the first place, but I'm so glad that it is like helping in that way. And you're seeing like good things coming from it besides your health being okay.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I wouldn't have said I had anxiety either, but my therapist would disagree with you. And also, yeah, the beta blocker is not for it. I'm not being prescribed it for any kind of anxiety. I'm being prescribed it to like manage a heart arrhythmia. But I have heard that people do get prescribed them for like if they're get major anxiety before a performance or something like that. And so I think it's a nice unintended side effect. I don't know if I will be on this medication for the long term. So it'll be interesting to see if I ever do come off of it. Like I want to be very aware of, does that creep back in?
Yeah.
Did I maybe reset my nervous system and I'm like good for a while? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I think it's those things. So yeah, those were kind of the big things that happened in June, selling out those private coaching spots like so fast and so easy. The package matrix method beta cohort, the just next level, just continuing to like kind of be this sleeper in the background that's like slowly growing. The mini retreat that we hosted in Columbus for our next level mastermind members, I'm like, I was talking to my sister. She's like, wait, so like people pay you to be your friend? And I'm like, I was like, that's not exactly what this is, but yeah, it kind of feels that way. Like, She was like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, yes, they're my friends, but also
never defeating the cult allegations.
I know. It was funny. I was just like, yeah, I guess so, but I'd still be, it's just
hilarious.
She's just like messing with me. I'm like, yes, I would consider every one of these women like somebody that I would absolutely, some people that are my friends, but people that I would be friends with in real life.
Yeah, for sure.
And I am friends with them in real life. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, that was June. And then the outflow in June was $15,199, which is lower than normal. And I think it's usually around like 17 to 20,000 for our salaries, podcast production, conversion rate optimization, like tools, taxes, all of those things. I only think it's lower because I think something like will fall twice in July that maybe should have hit in June. Paid quarterly estimated taxes in June so that I don't have a bigger tax bill in April. We got all that squared away. So yeah.
Amazing. What an awesome month.
It was a great month.
Yeah.
It's a great month. So like the average for May and June was 30,000 each month. I could look at it as like, oh, May was only 11,000, but June was 50,000. Or it's just like, we also look at like, what's the rolling 6-month average? And is it trending in the direction that we want to be trending for inflow and outflow? So yeah, but June was an awesome month.
Amazing.
May was an awesome month, but the revenue just didn't show up on the days that would make the financials say that May was an awesome month. So
right, which is why that like the dates
all
are
arbitrary.
so arbitrary. It's like it's all the same.
Yeah.
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 Incredible.
So I think that's it.
Amazing.
Do you have any final insights before I wrap up our June 2026 income report?
Any final insights? I think honestly, we talked a lot about Next Level. I just want to encourage anybody if they're like looking for a space with support, and if they're looking for community, if they're looking for friendship, if they're lonely and they're running a business and they are ready for their next level of personal growth and or business growth, whatever that might look like, just come check us out. Just come sit in with us on one and like hang out, just kind of see what the vibe is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the business growth follows the personal growth.
Yeah, totally.
And the other thing I would say about that, go to webdesigneracademy.com/next. You can learn all about it, fill out the application. We'll invite you to come sit in on one of our mastermind calls and let you know more about what it looks like to join us. Super low key, zero pressure. The other thing that I would say is we don't need you. You can be running any kind of service-based business. We are not going to have you tear down a business model that's working for you and rebuild it in our image and in our proven system. We're going to help you create a proven system that works for you within our next level framework, because this is not a one-size-fits-all thing. But if you're feeling stuck, like you're wanting more, like you're working harder than ever and you're not getting where you need to be, what got you here won't get you there. And that's what Next Level is designed to do, is to show you what's really in your way and then support you as you change that thing. And really in a group of people who are so excited to see you break through to your next level. So that's really what it's all about. So just fill out the application. I promise I'm not going to like enroll you into a cult against your will. I won't even, like I'm not that good at sales that I can force you to join, something that you don't want to be a part of. So don't worry about that. I don't think most people are worried about that. But
no.
For those of you that are like, I hate filling out forms because that's when I know what's going to happen after that. That's not how we roll. So
yeah, the sales process is not gross.
Awesome. Yeah, we don't teach that. We don't do that. We don't teach that. So All right, Erica, it's been so lovely having you back as my co-host, and we will see everybody back here for the next episode next week. Bye, everyone.
Beautiful.
Hey, so before you go, if you're an experienced woman web designer who's outgrown all the beginner business growth strategies and you're looking for real support to help you make the money that you really want to be making, I'd love for you to come and check out the Web Designer Academy and see how we do things differently. Just go to webdesigneracademy.com/tour and fill out the form to schedule your program tour. You'll get to sit in on one of our live group coaching calls, meet the other women inside of the program, and afterwards, I'll share options for working together in 2026. So if you're done figuring it all out on your own and you're looking for support, I can't wait to meet you. Schedule your program tour today at webdesigneracademy.com/tour. That's webdesigneracademy.com/TOUR tour.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.